You're watching MITV Channel 17.
And welcome to another exciting edition of MITV Productions. It's McAllen Instructional Television bringing you tonight's exciting boys basketball playoff between the Nikki Rowe Warriors and the Brownsville Porter Cowboys. Hello and welcome. I'm Mark May here along with Mario Reyna. You can see how jam-packed it is here in the gymnasium at Weslaco East High School, where tonight, third round playoff action. The Porter Cowboys and the Rowe Warriors, you hear the fans are already into it as the players are coming out onto the court right now. We're just moments away from tip-off, and glad you could be with us right here on valleycentral.com with our media partner, KGBT TV Channel 4, and also you're viewing this game later on McAllen's Channel 17.17. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the playoff brackets that we've got going on here. It's always exciting to look at the brackets throughout the entire state of Texas as these teams get deeper and deeper into the playoffs. You can see right there in Region 4, which is kind of the South Texas area from San Antonio, Corpus, Laredo, and the Valley. You can see the other teams that are going to be in action tonight. Corpus Christi Carroll against Cibolo Steel. Sounds like a football matchup there, both those teams. And Laredo United is playing Edinburgh North. That game's in Cal Allen up in the Corpus area. And then the winner of tonight's game, Porter Rowe, will play the winner between San Antonio Brandeis and Converse Judson. They are playing at UT San Antonio this evening. And as we take a look at some of the other Valley teams that are still alive in the playoffs, this is the boys basketball. So this is all in our area tonight. Class 4A, we see Roma taking on Fort Lavaca Calhoun. They have a great nickname, the Fighting Sand Crabs. Always one of my favorites against the Roma Gladiators. Class 3A, we've got Hidalgo against Corpus Christi West Oso. That game is going on. Then as we look at 2A and 1A, actually no 2A teams left, but Monte Alto is still there in the 1A playing Port Aransas tonight. And then finally, San Isidro has got some action here tonight in Class 1A Division 2. Tiny San Isidro, which has had some good teams in recent years. They're still alive as we have the third round of the state basketball playoffs here tonight. And I know Texas thought of as a football state, but it's a big basketball state too as we look here toward the keys to the game. Mario, what do you think there about the Porter Cowboys?
Well, the Porter Cowboys, even though they come in as a runner-up in District 32 5A, you don't get to this level, Mark, without being hot. Mm-hmm. And what they have going for them is they have a lot of experience. All their 5 starters are seniors. And I had the privilege of officiating their game last year in by district, and even though they lost a close ball game to Edinburgh, they gained a lot of valuable experience. So Porter Cowboys are a red hot team, and of course the Nikki Rowe Warriors are also very hot getting to this level. Yeah. They come into this game ranked number 1 in the Rio Grande Valley, in the top 25 in the state of Texas. So you're looking at 2 very good teams that are playing red hot basketball.
Yeah, and we saw those keys about Porter, their height. They've got 4 players who are 6'3" or better. They're averaging about 68 points a game, which is pretty good. It's more than a point a minute. The Rowe Warriors there, where they like to run that floor. They can get that fast break going if you're not careful. And then they've got real good outside shooting as well, which I think will be a key.
And one of the things that was big against Laredo Alexander is that their big boys played well. And anytime you have your big boys playing well inside, it opens up the 3-point for the outside shooters. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Cowboys can handle the height for the Rowe Warriors, and that is a big key to this game. And of course, for the Porter Cowboys, one of the big keys for them is that they all can shoot the threes, Mark.
Yeah.
So what they'll try to do is find that mismatch, and then they try to exploit the mismatch, and they can shoot the threes.
Okay, and would it be safe to say we can expect a pretty high-scoring game?
Well, sometimes, I think the defense, the teams that come out playing the best defense are the teams that will, I don't see it up there, maybe in the high 60s around there, because you know that the kids come into this game and there's no tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, they're playing for a trip to the regional tournament. So it seems to me in seeing ball games like this, Mark, that the scores are held down a little bit. So that's another key for us to be looking at.
Okay, well, let's take a look at how these teams got here for both Porter and for Nikki Rowe. Both of them have won 2 playoff games. And, well, first let's talk about their previous meetings. Earlier this year, they met twice. And as you said, you got to officiate one of those games.
Well, I didn't officiate it, but I got to see them. And I mean, either of those two games, the one that Porter won and the one that Rowe, it could have gone the opposite way because the two teams are very evenly matched. Of course, it happened early in November, so the teams have grown a lot since then, and so it doesn't. It gives them an opportunity to know each other. But the two teams are totally different.
Yeah, and you look at this, and they've split the last two meetings, but if you go back a few more years, Rowe has actually won 5 of the last 6 meetings. So Rowe has had the edge, and 4 of those 6 games decided by only single digits. So both of these teams play each other tight. Those 2 games, by the way, November 17th, where Porter won, that game was played on a neutral floor at the Brownsville tournament hosted by Veterans Memorial. The game on November 23rd, that was won on Porter's home floor. So Rowe went down there and won on Porter's home floor, one of only 2 home losses they sustained all season long. So we know if Rowe can win down there, they could probably take it on a neutral floor. Porter very good on neutral floors, though. They're 13-1 on neutral courts this year. So both of these teams are loaded. Let's take a look now at how these teams got here. Taking a look at the Rowe Warriors. They were the District 31 5A champions, undefeated in district at 16-0, like you pointed out, Mario. Then they had 2 decisive playoff wins.
And it looks like the number 67 is the key, that if they can get to 67, they can win the ball games, because in both games, you notice they scored 67 points. The impressive, I saw Coach Yerba this week, and one of the things that he talked about, that he was impressed by the fact that Laredo Alexander has a big-time tradition. In the Laredo area, they've advanced to the Sweet 16 on many occasions, which is a regional tournament. So Coach Yerba was very happy with that outcome. Anytime you can beat a Laredo Alexander, it gives you a big boost in your confidence.
Yep. And let me correct that score for just a moment. The Alexander win was actually more decisive than that. It's 67-52 was the final score in that game. The Rowe winning by 15 points. Let's look at Porter now. And Porter's trip to the 3rd round, they were, as you mentioned earlier, Mario, they were runner-up behind Harlingen South in District 32.
And for the Porter Cowboys, the impressive win, obviously, is that area game versus Del Rio. Del Rio came in with a lot of good athletes, and Porter was able to overcome their athletic ability because of the hot shooting of all their players.
Yeah, and for Porter, this is the furthest they've gone in Class 5A since they came back up to 5A, I think in 2004. They had gone to 3 rounds deep back in 2004 as a 4A school, but as a 5A school, they hadn't gone this far. And in fact, the last 3 seasons when they've made the playoffs, they were knocked out in the first round. So we know Porter is, it's that senior leadership finally reaching fruition this year.
Yes, and Coach Luis Garza, the coach at Brownsville Porter, doing a great job over there, Mark. He has changed the mindset of Porter Cowboy basketball. He's done a wonderful job, and last year, like I said, a lot of the players that are now starting, they got a lot of experience in that bi-district game against Edinburgh, and that definitely has helped them out in boosting their confidence to get them to this level.
Okay, let's take a look at the next round. We kind of alluded to this a little bit before, but the regional tournament will be in the Valley this year. Unbelievable.
The Valley.
It's not San Antonio, but it's the regional tournament for the first time coming to the Rio Grande Valley. It's going to be at the UT Pan American Fieldhouse, home of the Mighty Bronx, and it'll be on this Friday, March the 1st. There's actually 2 games. There's 6 o'clock game and the 8 o'clock game. If Rowe, or whether whoever wins, Rowe or Porter, they would play in the 8 o'clock game against either Brandeis or Converse Judson. You can see the win-loss records for the Brandeis Broncos, 32-3 this year. The Judson Rockets, 29-7. Certainly would be a formidable opponent for whoever wins this game here tonight.
Right, and Brandeis does have that reputation. They should be the favorite in that game, so anytime you get to that level, Mark, of course it gets real tough. But first things first, and in the other bracket, who do we have in the other bracket, Mark?
Well, we took a look at that earlier, but we saw Edinburgh North. Edinburgh North was playing Laredo United in the other bracket, and then also Cibolo Steel was involved in the game in there as well against Carroll. Yeah, against Carroll. So, a lot of exciting action here going on throughout South Texas as the regional tournament participants will be known after tonight. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with the starters after this. You're watching boys basketball action right here on MITV. Have you visited a campus in McAllen ISD lately? There is an amazing transformation going on. In McAllen ISD, every child has the opportunity to receive a mobile learning device like the iPad. Education is evolving to fit the modern world. The state and even the nation want to know how we're doing it. It has led to national and international recognition, state awards, and even to conversations at the White House. Student-centered, inquiry-based learning. McAllen ISD, transforming learning and leading the way. And here we are at Weslaco East High School Gymnasium. It's the Nikki Rowe Warriors. They are the home team tonight officially, going up against the Porter Cowboys. One end of the valley against the other here in the regional quarterfinal playoff, the state of Texas basketball. I'm Mark May along with Mario Reyna, and there you see it, the Cowboys, 32 wins in 37 games this year. The Warriors have won 31 of 35 games. Both of them come in with long winning streaks. The Cowboys have won 8 straight games coming into this game, and the Warriors come in having won 16. That's set for tip-off. We'll get you the starters in just a moment as soon as we get a dead ball situation, but there's the tip-off taken down by Rose Eleuterio Juarez, and they'll bring it up the floor. That's Rodrigo Trevino. Trevino, a diminutive player, but he can hit the big three and also can fire off those passes. There's Gatling, now goes underneath Martinez and scores. Alan Martinez, their big forward center, he's a junior, gets the first two.
And Martinez right away driving on a zone. The Porter Cowboys were in a zone, Mark.
Here are the Cowboys with their first possession. That's Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh picks up his dribble and it gets it up top to Gio Betancourt, the senior point guard. Now driving inside, this is Hugo Salazar, and Salazar off the glass and in, and he's got his first two. We're all tied up at 2, 50 seconds into the game.
Both teams
Nikki
are
Rowe,
in the
it goes
zone.
to Gatling on the right side of the lane. Puts it off the glass and in. And so right away, the two big guys for Nikki Rowe are on the board, and Rowe is up 4-2. 1 minute into the game. Here's Kavanaugh, right side in front of the Nikki Rowe bench. Goes around the horn. Here's a long-range three-pointer off the front iron, and down to Rowe it is.
A good job by Campos on that rebound.
Yeah, Rudy Campos, the big junior center. Rowe has some height out there in Martinez, Gatling, and Campos. And then two small guards in Juarez and Trevino.
And that's something to look at, Mark, to see if it's going to be the Rowe inside game.
Skip pass goes to Martinez. Now a three-pointer is good.
And Juarez continues his hot shooting, Mark. In the last game, he had 4 3-pointers. He scored 20 points in the victory against Laredo Alexander.
And he's got 5 now. Now we got a whistle at the other end as Jonathan Martinez takes a spill. And there we see a replay of that nice three-pointer there. At 4 cameras bringing you tonight's game.
And Eleuterio got that 3, but it has to go to the passing. The Rowe did a fine job of passing the ball.
So this will put Jonathan Martinez, 6'3" senior, at the line.
The officials for today's game, Mark, are Arnold Garcia, David Alcantar, and Adrian Saavedra.
And I assume they're from the Valley chapter of officials?
From the Rio Grande Valley chapter. No press by the Porter Cowboys.
Martinez goes 1 for 2, and the score is now 7-3. Rowe up by 4, and now a travel. A little bit of pressure defense by Betancourt as he went for the steal, and that kind of upset the timing of Campos, who committed the turnover.
And Mark, something to note is that Coach Jose Yerba from the Rowe Warriors used to coach in Brownsville.
Here's Betancourt, three-pointer off the back iron. Rebound to Kavanaugh. He was cut off underneath by Campos. Now here's a drive by Salazar. That's no good. Kavanaugh, the offensive board. Martinez. And Martinez puts it in.
A good job on a hustle right there by Martinez. The Warriors were not blocking out.
That's something Porter is pretty good at, is those offensive boards. And Rowe, one of their keys has to be to reduce the number of second chance opportunities for Porter. There's a pass inside for Campos. Campos couldn't get it to drop. Rebound to the Cowboys. That's Martinez with it. It's the outlet. That's Salazar driving the lane. Reverse layup attempt, no good, but he picked up the whistle.
It was a nice drive right there. And anytime you drive to the basket, if there's contact, you're going to get the foul. As I was alluding to, Coach Jose Hierba, coach in Brownsville, and he's a very good friend of Coach Luis Garza.
First free throw attempt is no good by Salazar. He'll get another. By the way, the foul was on Campos, his first. Second free throw is good, and Salazar goes for 1 for 2, and he's got 3. Trevino across the timeline. Trevino still with it, bounce pass. That was to Juarez, who thought about the shot. Now it's around against Trevino. Trevino trying to split the defense. Up against that 2-3 zone, kicks it outside. Three-pointer's no good. Rebound to the Warriors, and it was knocked out of the hands of Martinez. Now picked up, here's Kavanaugh driving one-on-one and scores.
And that was created by a good defense by the Porter Cowboys in that zone matchup defense.
And Porter has their first lead, 8-7, 4.5 minutes to play. And there's another block shot, but it comes right back to Juarez. 3-point effort now by Trevino, no good. And the Cowboys have the rebound. Cowboys doing a good job on the board so far.
Yes, they are.
Bounce pass to Kavanaugh, three-pointer, nothing but net.
And that's one boy you don't want to get hot, Mark. In one of the games I noticed him, he hit like 3 or 4 in a row without a problem.
11-7, Cowboys up by 4. They were down 7-3. It's an 8-0 run now for the Cowboys. Fans from both teams here in Weslaco in the Mid-Valley. Three-pointer is good by Gatling.
And Gatling gets credit for that 3, but give Rodrigo the assist on that one, Mark. And the Rowe Warriors, as you take a look at the replay, Rodrigo doing a fine job. He is the spark plug. He is the quarterback for the Warriors.
Yeah, Gatling, a football player also, and he's got 5 points now. In fact, Juarez and Gatling have 10 of the 11 Rowe points.
But that's not going to cut it, Mark. The success of the Warriors in the last game is that they had balanced scoring.
3-point effort is no good, and the Warriors have it. Let me correct myself. The Warriors have 10 points, so those two men have all 10 of the Warriors' points right now, Gatling and Juarez. And here's Gatling on this side. Man goes down. Pass into the lane is stolen by Betancourt. And back come the Cowboys. This is Salazar. Kicks it outside. Defense was there. Skip pass to Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh fakes his way in, has an open shot. No good. Gets his own rebound, but finally picked up by Rowe. It's a fast pace here in the early going. 3 minutes to play first quarter. Trevino takes a spill. I think this is going to be against Salazar.
That's actually the first foul on the Porter Cowboys.
And they credit that actually to 22 De Los Santos.
And Marcos, number 11, Marcos Contreras comes in as the first sub off the bench for the Warriors.
First foul for De Los Santos. Three-pointer is too hard. Rebound to the Cowboys. That's Kavanaugh with it. Racing across the center line. Pass to the right side. Up, no good. Rebound to the Cowboys. They score it. And that was Martin De Los Santos.
And Mark, I know you noticed that almost on every possession, the Cowboys are taking the ball to the bucket, and it's paying up dividends so far. Either they're getting fouled or they're getting easy baskets.
De Los Santos, the team's leading scorer in the bi-district win over San Benito with 21 points. Got his first 2 right there. It's a 3-point lead for the Cowboys right now. 2:25 to play in the first quarter. That was Campos, too hard intended for Martinez.
And the Warriors are hurting themselves with some turnovers.
Here come the Cowboys. Ambitious pass there by Salazar. It is knocked out. Last touch by the Warriors. Looks like it'll be De Los Santos, a 6'1 senior guard, who will inbound from almost underneath his own basket.
And Coach Hierba trying to get a decision turned, and he did get the call turned.
Oh. So good defense there by Rowe. Looked like a couple of Warriors touched it, and maybe a Cowboy touched it last.
And a good job by the officials to get it together and get the right call.
Yeah, good job there. So 2:10 to play, and so that goes down as a turnover, and the Warriors have it with a chance to tie on this possession. Problems on the sideline, and it's turned over. This is Kavanaugh. Bounce pass down low. That's Betancourt. Three-pointer. It's no good and picked up by the Warriors. Trevino. Lob pass is too strong, intended for Marcus Contreras, the junior forward, who just came in a moment ago. We take a look at the head coach of the Porter Cowboys. Luis Garza, who himself is a 1991 Porter graduate. Minute 48 to play in the first quarter. 13-10 is our score. Cowboys in front. Substitution by the Cowboys. Checking into the game is number 1, Eric Martinez. He's a junior guard. And Kavanaugh will check out. Kavanaugh checks out with 5 points.
Both teams don't sub a lot, Mark, so expect the kids, they either go 6 or 7.
Yeah, both have 12 on their roster. And this Porter team is pretty loaded. They got 8 seniors out of 12 players on the roster. Rowe has just 4 seniors. So an experienced group here. Porter taking their time here. Minute 23 to play in the first quarter. This is Betancourt with it. Betancourt guarded by Juarez.
So far, we haven't heard from Salazar. From De Los Santos. He scored 21 points in the last game.
And there we see Martinez trying to penetrate inside. Stolen away by Trevino. Back come the Warriors. 2-on-2 break. Kick it outside. Juarez thinking about the three. Puts it up. No good, but an offensive rebound. That one taken by Contreras. Trevino kicks it outside again. Juarez, good!
And Juarez had missed his last 3 opportunities, and he got it. So Juarez has a green light, Mark, and I would give him the green light as he scored 20 points last time in the last game against the Bulldogs from Laredo Alexander.
Juarez has 8 of the Warriors' 13 points here early on. Both teams relying on their heavy hitters. 30 seconds left in the quarter. Looks like Porter will hold for the last shot. We're tied at 13. Pass inside is finally picked up by Salazar, but he can't get it to drop, and we got a whistle. Jump ball is called. And that's going to be possession to Porter.
And that's the life of an official, Mark. Sometimes you're going to have 50% loving you and 50 don't. And the good thing for me is that I'm not officiating, that I guess hopefully all the camera people, and they'll like what I'm doing. I'm not going to get booed.
We see Coach Jose Yebra there on the sideline for Nikki Rowe. And, like a coach, you don't have time to argue calls. You've just got to adjust to it, and he's had to sit there giving instructions to his defense. As Porter misses the initial shot and then saved as a off the rebound effort. That was a good job there by Martinez to pick it up, and here's Rowe at the other end. Contreras scores.
And a great assist by Rodrigo Trevino on that one. Rodrigo never looks to score. He likes to pass it out.
Here's Salazar. Drives it in and scores a layup right at the buzzer. Right, the defense just kind of relaxed a little too much there, and Salazar jumps in, gets it in at the buzzer. He's got 5 points, and we're all tied at 15 after 1 quarter of play. We'll take a look at some highlights there of the first quarter. That was a nice, exciting first quarter.
Nice drive right there by their leading scorer in their last game, Martin De Los Santos.
Yeah, and right off, looking at the scoring for the Cowboys, we have Kavanaugh and Salazar with 5 each, Martinez with 3, and then I have De Los Santos with 2. And then for the Nikki Rowe Warriors, I've got Juarez with 8, Chris Gatling with 5, and then Marcos Contreras with 2. So both teams got all their scoring from 3 players, and both teams have 15 points.
And Mark, in the first quarter, you notice both teams are very similar. Both teams were playing like a zone, man-to-man kind of type defense. They don't go straight man-to-man. They use each other's help. That's why they're in a zone. And both teams like to penetrate. So it was an exciting first quarter.
Yeah,
this game is good as advertised.
We're seeing both teams, being real aggressive about trying to take it to the hole. And the Warriors have kept themselves in it with a couple of timely threes. The Warriors have the ball to start the second quarter. That's Juarez, kicks it outside to Trevino. Trevino kicks it out. There's Martinez from outside, that's a 2. Long range two, and the first two of the night for Martinez, who was their leading scorer in the bi-district win over Los Fresnos with 15 points. We take a look at that replay. At the other end, a quick three is no good, and the Warriors have it. The miss by De Los Santos, and back come the Warriors. They'll get it into the hands of the diminutive point guard, Trevino. Now to Juarez and return to Trevino.
Everything goes to Trevino, Mark. He probably already has 4 or 5 assists. Real smart ball player.
Kicked it out to Juarez. Tried that left side of the lane, couldn't get it. And had the ball knocked away, but the Warriors retained possession.
That's one thing, you can't be careless with the ball. Juarez a little careless right there in that possession. He almost picked his pocket. The Cowboys have all their starters, all their players on the court are very quick.
This is Gatling. Gatling trying to go inside, and a blocking foul is going to be called against Porter. Gatling taking advantage of his quickness, and Salazar picks up his first. Just 2 team fouls on each team, so neither team is in trouble as yet. 6:55 to play in the first half. Trevino tries the right side of the lane, nothing there. Betancourt steals it.
And the problem in that play was Trevino killed his dribble, Mark, and anytime you do that, you're at the mercy of the defense.
Yeah, defense can really close it in on you. And here's Salazar, three-pointer, in and out. Offensive rebound up and no good, but the whistle. And it looks like Martinez will be at the line for the second time tonight.
The Warriors are not taking advantage of their size, Mark. That should not be happening on the defensive side for them. There's been about 3 or 4 occasions already where the Cowboys end up having a second and third opportunity by good rebounding on the offensive side.
Martinez misses the first one. By the way, the foul on Campos, that'll be his second for Nikki Rowe, and Coach Yeaber is going to take Campos out. You see Campos there on the bench in early foul trouble. And checking in, looked like Juarez came back in for him.
And that's a big foul on Campos, Mark, because he is a big inside player, and sometimes we don't notice that he does a tremendous job on the defensive side.
Martinez goes 1 for 2 at the line. He's got 4 points. In the game, he's 2 for 4 from the line. 1 point lead for Nikki Rowe, 17-16. And Gatling falls down, and they're going to call traveling. And that is the rule. If you go down to the floor and you move at all, it is considered a travel.
Yes, anytime you go to the floor with the ball, it's a travel. Or if you get up from the floor with the ball, it's a travel.
Oh, nice play there. That's Martinez with the jumper. Nice assist from Salazar. And Martinez now with 6 points. 6 minutes to play, first half. And it's a 1 point lead for Porter, 18-17. Trevino to Gatling. We haven't seen Gatling, even though he's a tall player, we haven't seen him underneath that much. And now we've got a whistle away from the ball. This will be on the floor. Holding on De Los Santos, and that'll be number 2 on him. We'll see if they sub him out here in a moment. Gatling's going to throw it in. To Contreras, now back to Gatling. Gatling guarded by Salazar. He's looking underneath for Martinez, can't get inside. What a real tight defense underneath. Now Trevino drives the lane. Teardrop shot, no good. Rebound to the Cowboys, and we've got a whistle. I think that's not a foul or anything. That's a timeout called by Porter with 5:28 to play in the first half, and it's a 1 point lead for the Cowboys, 18-17. Well, Mario, it looks like this game is living up to all the billing, all the pregame hype and everything like that. It looks like both these teams really came to play tonight.
They certainly are, and there's a lot of jitters out there. Like we talked about already, there's no tomorrow, and that gets the adrenaline going, and that's why we've seen a lot more mistakes in this game than they probably did in the previous game. But they're very evenly matched. You don't have one team that has a superior talent. It's just going to come down to who can make the adjustments on timeouts and who plays their type of game. And so far, both teams seem to be playing their type of game.
And I noticed, despite the timeout, Coach Garza of Porter decides to leave De Los Santos in there with 2 fouls.
And that's a big risk because De Los Santos is a good player that did a great job in the last game. He scored 21 points.
So see if Coach Yebra points that out when Rowe gets possession back. Rowe in a zone now, 2-3 zone. Cowboys taking their time a little bit with 5:10 to play here in the second quarter. Lob pass to Kavanaugh, drives the lane, is cut off, and it's it to Salazar who gets it to drop. Or correction, De Los Santos.
De Los Santos.
So shows what we know when we question De Los Santos staying in there. He's the man that scores there, and 4 points for him.
Coach Garza has to be showing a lot of confidence in him, Mark. He is a senior.
Yeah, those senior experience, they know if they've got a couple of early fouls, they know they have to be careful on defense. Here's Gatling. Gatling scores it. Athletic move there by Gatling. He's got 7.
And it's important that Gatling gets into the game. I mean, he's got a lot of talent. There's not too many kids that can stop him. And there's Gatling.
Three-pointer by De Los Santos is no good, and Gatling has the rebound. Gatling runs the floor. And I've got a whistle. That's on the floor. I think it reached by one of the Porter players, and guess who it is? De Los Santos.
And that's something that might come back to haunt Coach Garza and the Porter Cowboys, because on the scoreboard it shows that he has 2 fouls, Mark.
Oh, okay. We may have misidentified one. I had him for 3, but yeah, they got him for 2 up there on the official board. Here's Trevino, 3-pointer, no good.
Trevino not really known for his shooting ability, but once in a while he will pop it in. Trevino is always looking to dish the ball out to somebody else.
Here's Kavanaugh, guarded by Gatling. So we're up top to Betancourt. Now around to Salazar. Salazar goes inside, kicks it out to De Los Santos. De Los Santos 3-pointer, no good. Rebound fought for, finally taken by Kavanaugh and got it. Over the outstretched hand of Gatling, and Kavanaugh now has 7.
And Mark, something we need to talk about is that the Warriors are missing Campos, because Campos usually gets those rebounds.
Yeah, he's on the bench with 2 fouls right now. He's been on the bench about 3 minutes. And now a pass goes awry. That was intended for Alan Martinez. And Porter has the ball back once again after a turnover. 3-point lead for Porter Cowboys. Coach Jose Yebra in his 14th year as head coach of the Warriors. This is Kavanaugh, 3-pointer. No good. All alone underneath is Suarez, who picks up the board. Under 3 minutes to play now, first half. Trevino over to Gatling. He rifles it over to Juarez. Return to Gatling. Still against that 2-3 zone. Been a zone the whole first half for Porter. Underneath Martinez. Martinez dribbles back outside, was looking for a cutter. Juarez came over late, couldn't find the handle, and now Betancourt has it for Porter. Drives the lane, stolen away by Gatling. Tried to get it over him. Now a long bounce pass for Trevino. Nice play by Trevino, and did you see him try to wait to try to pick up the foul?
And when you're 5'4", you got to do things like that, Mark.
And Porter quickly back at the other end. Martinez scores.
Very nice pass on that play. Martinez gets the points, but the nice assist.
Martinez with 8 points now. Work it. 2 minutes left in the first half. Rowe trailing by 3. Gatling cuts inside one man, pulls up, short, no good, and rebound to Martinez for the Cowboys.
And Mark, how you close a half or any quarter is always very, very important.
And a travel called on Betancourt. Had a nice idea, but didn't bounce the ball soon enough.
Coming in for the Warriors is number 10, Jesse Diaz.
Football player, a linebacker, Jesse Diaz. And checking out is 24, Gabe Garcia, who saw a little bit of action in there. Minute 40 to go before halftime. Warriors have trailed by as many as 4. They trail by 3 at the moment. Inside Martinez, no good. Rebound to Porter. They kick it out to De Los Santos. Or make that Salazar. Salazar's going to drive the lane and scores.
Mark, I think Salazar is the quickest player on the Porter Cowboys team.
Yeah, Salazar, very quick. Number 23 now has 7 points, and it's the biggest lead of the evening so far for either club. Porter up 26-21. Rowe is led by as many as 4. Trevino drives the lane, kicks it out to Juarez. Now a whistle, and Juarez called for the travel. I'd actually thought Trevino may have traveled in the lane, so it seemed like he mishandled the ball a little bit, but kicked it out, and then Juarez ended up traveling. And Porter with another turnover. Or benefiting from a turnover.
And if you go into halftime with a lead, Mark, it has to boost your confidence. It looks like the Cowboys are going to settle for the last second shot.
Well, it looked like Rowe is threatening a trap there. They back out of it. Rowe in kind of a 3-2 zone at the moment. Gatling comes out to meet Salazar. Oh, pass underneath. Skips off the hands, and Rowe has it back. 24 seconds left. Rowe can hold for the last shot if they want. Diaz kicks it outside. That's Gatling with the 3. Got it.
That's a big bucket, Mark. The Warriors are now only down by 2. It could have been by 7 or 8.
And Gatling with his first three-pointer of the night and first player to go into double figures with 10 points. 2-point game. Here's Porter. There's a whistle with 1.9 seconds left. That was Salazar trying to drive the lane. Foul's going to be on Alan Martinez. That'll be his second. Both teams with 4 team fouls each, so neither one will see the bonus here in this first half. Salazar's second trip to the line. Hits the first one.
We'll see what kind of play the Warriors will come up with 1.9 seconds to go.
He got them both. He's 3 for 4 in the game with 9 points. Long shot is no good. Nice shot put effort there by the Warriors. And at halftime, our score is 28-24. Porter Cowboys in front. They outscore Nikki Rowe in that second half, 13-9. Excuse me, the second quarter, 13-9. After it was all tied at 15 after 1 quarter of play. We're at halftime, and we'll have some entertainment for you here coming up at the break as well as the second half. Don't go away. You're watching exciting boys basketball playoff action brought to you by MITV here on ValleyCentral.com. To your future, a new track being offered this year is called the Computer Science Academy. This 2-year program is for students who are serious in pursuing the computer field. Courses are taken at STC. Students graduate from high school with an associate's degree in hand, and it's all free. Students will be prepared for careers in software engineering, systems analyst, among others. At McAllen ISD, if you want a computer science career, you choose your course of study.
In today's world, kids like me will have to create their own job. But first, we have to imagine it. Expanding the classroom and the child's mind. Transforming learning. McAllen School since 1908.
A child growing up to become successful. It's every parent's dream. For some, the dream includes becoming an engineer. Through McAllen ISD, such a track is possible. It's the Dual Enrollment Engineering Academy. This program is for students who are serious in pursuing engineering as a career. Courses are taken at South Texas College during the last 2 years of high school. Students will graduate from high school with an associate's degree in hand, and it's all free. At McAllen ISD, if you want to be an engineer, you choose your course of study.
Technology is in our blood. And as a teenager growing up in the 21st century, we have technology everywhere. Everywhere I go, there's technology that plays a crucial role in the efficiency of my life. Compared to how things are at school, I mean, you get here, you have books, you have paper, you have pencils, you have this, you have that. In our society nowadays, everyone uses this technology, everywhere.
I always struggled with organization in my life. I mean, having 6 different teachers give you all the different papers, folders, notes, and binders and stuff, it was a big load for me to have. I got my iPad in April, and ever since I've got it, having just one place to do everything, I've taken notes on it. I have a to-do list that physically reminds me with an alarm when I'm supposed to do certain things, when I'm supposed to turn in things. It's just taken so much stress out of my life.
When a child's imagination is untethered by the mechanisms of the past, learning can truly be limitless. That's the transformational essence behind TLC Cubed. It's an innovative teaching and learning framework that McAllen ISD is developing to leverage powerful new technologies and merge them with challenge-based learning. This multidisciplinary approach, TLC Cube's learning environment, fosters higher levels of engagement, innovation, and creativity while integrating the cutting-edge technology that students crave and desperately need.
They want more, and when a student wants more, you can't wait to give them more, and you're looking for more ways to see that hunger for education, for knowledge.
What are these organs right here?
As a teacher, it really made me feel that we were going to catapult our kids into the technology-driven world that they're going to be working in.
The district assembled teams of teachers and unleashed their ingenuities to dream up learning experiences for students, and it worked to provide the technological tools to make the experiences possible.
I'm not a tech. I have trouble with computers, but when you give me an iPad and an iPhone, it's just too easy. If I can get a math app to compete with the graphics of their games, that's what I'm looking for, and that's where they're going to be paying more attention. In fact, they're going to learn more.
And then now the world opens up, so you can have conversations in your classroom, in your local community, at the state level. You can have conversations globally.
The majority of your everyday average kids know how to use technology in a social setting to work for them socially, but they really don't know how to make technology work for them for their academic success. They don't know how to take control of their learning, and those kind of skills they're going to need in the business world and in the creative world that awaits them.
If we're going to equip our students and staff to compete at a global level, we knew that transformational thinking was our only option.
With McAllen ISD's student demographics coupled with its international environment, the technology cadre of students, teachers, administrators, parents, and community leaders agreed the district faces a critical need for change and a sense of urgency.
We're looking to level the playing field for a community that's underrepresented, and we're looking at changing not only the future of 25,000 plus kids today, but for generations to come.
When we had our initial conversations with Apple, we quickly realized scaling to 25,000 students was going to require a bold new way of thinking. From another perspective, we had the good fortune that Abilene Christian University is world-renowned for their instructional technology and what they do with instructional technology.
We've made a commitment to explore how mobile devices can take student learning and student engagement to an entirely different level. Mobile learning has served as a catalyst for us to rethink and reimagine the classroom of the 21st century.
Those three entities put together all wanting to revolutionize the way we think about teaching with instructional technology.
McAllen ISD gets it, and there is a vision, and they realize that technology is a great support tool. It's part of who this generation is, but they have a great vision that it's really about helping our students prepare for their future.
Ultimately, a partnership between cutting-edge educational, technological, private, and governmental resources will revolutionize the kind of creative and collaborative learning that will unleash the future of the children in our care.
We're poised here on an international court, but we also know that we are part of the solution. That's the part that we say ignites that learning, that spark, that revolution is kind of a catalyst. When we talked about the iPad at one time, it wasn't the iPad. It was the iPad in the hands of a student coupled with the teacher, and then unleashing and enjoying what's going to happen when you put those elements together, and letting them teach us what needs to happen in order to shape the future of teaching and learning, and learn from them and learn with them, and then involve everyone along the way to make sure that not only that we are informing ourselves as a community, but that we're contributing to informing the rest of the world on what it's going to take to create an environment for students to flourish, to be innovative, to be creative, and to use the tools that we know will make it happen for them.
I think they're really good with games, but now we need to show them that there's more to technology than just games, that there's a wealth of information out there that if they can grab a hold of, then, oh wow, where they can go, it's like endless.
A child growing up to become successful. It's every parent's dream. For some, the dream includes becoming a doctor. Through McAllen ISD, such a track is possible. It's the Medical Science Academy. This program is for high school students who are interested in pursuing healthcare as a career. Courses are taken at South Texas College during the last 2 years of high school. They graduate from high school with an associate's degree in hand, and it's all free. At McAllen ISD, if you want to be a doctor, you choose your course of study.
McAllen ISD provides to every single one of our students a comprehensive educational experience, and we promise to you that when they leave, our students will be college and career ready. Fulfilling our promise,
we are McAllen ISD.
Have you visited a campus in McAllen ISD lately? There is an amazing transformation going on. In McAllen ISD, every child has the opportunity to receive a mobile learning device like the iPad. Education is evolving to fit the modern world. The state and even the nation want to know how we're doing it. It has led to national and international recognition, state awards, and even to conversations at the White House. Student-centered, inquiry-based learning. McAllen ISD, transforming learning and leading the way.
And here we are back at Weslaco East High School Gymnasium, hosting tonight's game, a regional quarterfinal playoff between the Nikki Rowe Warriors of McAllen and the Brownsville Porter Cowboys. And at the break, it's the Cowboys in front by 4, 28-24. We'll take a look at the high scoring here as we take a look at some highlights from the first half. The Porter Cowboys in the first half, led by Hugo Salazar with 9 points and John Cavanaugh with 7, who we just saw make that hook shot. Jonathan Martinez had 8 points, and then Martin De Los Santos with 4. So all their scoring coming from just 4 different players. Nikki Rowe, or just as pedestrian as Chris Gatling, led their scoring with 10 points, and then we have Eleuterio Juarez with 6 on a couple of threes, Alan Martinez with 4, Marcus Contreras with 2, and Rodrigo Trevino with 2 points. So there we are at the break. It was all tied at 15 after one quarter, and then Porter outscoring Rowe 13-9 in the second quarter, and Porter here to start the third quarter with the ball. This is Salazar. Salazar with 9 points to lead Cowboys scoring in that first half. Gets it to Martinez. Guarded by Rudy Campos, who's back into the game now. He missed the last 6 minutes of the second quarter with foul trouble.
And that didn't hurt the defense, Mark. And also, Campos is a tough offensive player, Mark.
Yeah, good on the boards as Cavanaugh spins in the lane. And the ball is loose on the floor. Cavanaugh recovers it, and Porter has the ball right back.
And Mark, look for Porter to continue to drive. That's how they were successful in the first quarter. They got a 3-second count. Mark, the halftime adjustments, that's what it's all about. Look for Coach Garza and the Cowboys to continue to penetrate. That's how they were successful. And look for the Warriors, something they were missing. They did not get the ball inside, so I expect the Warriors to try to go inside more here in the second half.
All right, Salazar with that last turnover, so he got caught directly underneath the basket, kind of in a no man's land there, and a 3-second violation, the result. Juarez bounce pass to Martinez. Martinez trying to spin his way up the lane and then double dribble.
And maybe the reason the Warriors are having trouble getting the ball inside is because there's some good defense out there by the Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys did hold Rowe to 44 points in one game earlier this year, a 54-44 win back in November at a tournament down in Brownsville. They're turning the screws here tonight. They lead by 4. No scoring yet as Cavanaugh drives and draws the whistle.
And that's the penetration I was talking to you, Mark, that expected all night. All their starters can penetrate. They're quick, they're fast, and usually when you penetrate, Mark, something's good going to happen. Either you're going to score, you're going to find somebody open, or you're going to get a foul.
And that foul on Campos, who quickly picks up his third. A minute and a half here into the third quarter. Cavanaugh at the line hits the first one.
And that hurts, Mark. That hurts because that doesn't allow Campos, who's now being substituted for. It hurts a lot because he has not been able to get it into the flow.
Second shot by Cavanaugh. Hits the front iron, no good. Rebound to Martinez. So Cavanaugh goes 1 for 2. He's got 8 in the game. Here's Gatling at the other end. Loses the ball in the lane. Back come the Cowboys. It's a 3-on-2 break. Salazar goes end to end. And Salazar in double figures with 11 points to lead all scorers. and it's the biggest lead of the evening so far for the Cowboys. They lead by 7, 31-24, and a timeout going to be called by Nikki Rowe with 6 minutes, 11 seconds to play. And Coach Jose Ibra and the Warriors have their hands full here in the early going.
Yes, we have a 30-second timeout, Mark, and that's a good timeout by Coach Yerba. He doesn't want to let this game get out of hand, because something you have to remember, in the fourth quarter, if they have a lead of 5 to 10 points, they have a very, very good delayed game. And it's very hard to match up against them because all their starters are very fast, very quick. They all can penetrate, and they're all good finishers.
Yeah, Salazar is very impressive tonight. Has 11 points, and most of that just seemingly in finding seeming impossible lanes there to drive in the paint and get those layups. It looks like Rowe has it closed, and he's able to slither his way through and get a lot of shots in close. And that's been a big difference here for the Cowboys tonight. We'll see what adjustments the Warriors are able to make. Cowboys come out in a zone, 2-3. This is Gatling from about 10 feet. Spins in and out. Warriors picked up the board, but there's a whistle.
There's a good rebound inside by Contreras. The Warriors will maintain possession.
So loose ball foul on Kavanaugh, his first, the team first.
And with 6 minutes to go, the Warriors are down 7, 31-24. This is a big possession.
Yeah, don't want to let it fall too far further down as Trevino controls it, gets it to Gatling. Gatling cut off, covered by De Los Santos. They have to Martinez in the lane, hook shot in.
And that's what the Warriors need to do, Mark. As soon as they get the ball into Martinez, he's so strong. That looked like an easy basket for him. And of course, anytime you shoot from close up, Mark, your percentage will go high.
6 points now for him. And the Warriors trail by 5, 31-26. 5:22 to play here in the third quarter, and the Warriors have a steal.
And that turnover was caused by the quick hands of Rodrigo Trevino.
And Juarez ends up picking it up. Finds Martinez in the lane, then it goes pinballs around. Now Gatling with it, drives the lane. Oh, nice. Athletic move there by Gatling. He's got 12 to lead Warriors scoring. The Warriors have cut it to 3, 31-28. Quarter still in front, 4:58 to play third quarter.
And the Warriors are going straight man-to-man, Mark.
Warriors playing aggressive defense here, trying to get back into it. Kavanaugh driving the lane. This might be against Gatling. Going to be a hold on Gatling. That'll be his first. And the team's second.
And Coach Yerba wanted a traveling on that one.
You can see on the replay where Gatling did appear to grab that right arm of Kavanaugh. Long range shot. Good.
Was that a shot or was that a shot, Mark? Right there, number 23, Hugo Salazar with a hot hand. Had no problems going over Gatling.
He's got 14, a 6-point game now. Long range shot is no good. Cowboys up 34-28. And we've got a whistle against number 11, Marcos Contreras. That'll be his first and the team third. Warriors have picked up 3 fouls in 3.5 minutes here in the third quarter. This is Salazar working across the timeline, guarded by Juarez. Lob past Kavanaugh is guarded by Gatling. They clear out on that side. Now Kavanaugh drives, but is cut off. Kicks it out to Salazar, who works for an open shot. No good. Gatling the rebound. Out of Trevino, and Trevino picks up a foul in the backcourt on De Los Santos.
And the intensity is picking up here, Marcus. Anytime you see more fouls being called, that means that the defense is picking up, the intensity is picking up. And with 4 minutes to go, the Warriors are down 6, 34-28. They need to score, Mark.
So De Los Santos now with 3 fouls. That's 2 team fouls here, and Trevino with it. Kicks it inside, and it's good. That's Contreras.
What a nice pass by Rodrigo Trevino. Sometimes he's not the scorer, Mark, but you got to give him on that big assist. Because of him, it was an easy basket.
So Contreras with 4 points now, and it's 34-30. Quarter in front. Ball is loose and goes in and out. Kavanaugh looked like he may have tipped it in, but it comes back out. Contreras the rebound, and back comes the Warriors, and they throw it away. It was intended for Juarez, who cut one way as the ball went the other. And just a little bit of miscommunication there. And it's back to Porter.
If you were to ask Coach Yerba what's going on right now, the turnovers was hurting the Warriors.
Porter kicks it outside. That's De Los Santos. Now to Betancourt. Guarded by Trevino. Now Kavanaugh about 30 feet from the basket. Lobs it over Gatling. Gets it to Martinez from the baseline. Good. And Martinez enters double digits with 10. And we've got a timeout on the floor called by the Porter Cowboys, who lead it 36-30 with 3:11 to play here in the third quarter. We run through the high scores here for you. We have two Cowboys in double figures, led by Salazar with 14. And then Martinez has 10. Kavanaugh has 8 points. And then De Los Santos with 4. Looking over at the Nikki Rowe Warriors, they are led by Gatling with 12 points. And then we have Juarez with 6 and Martinez with 6. Contreras with 4. Trevino with 2. In terms of foul trouble, Campos for the Warriors has 3 fouls. And then De Los Santos for Porter has 3 fouls.
And Mark, you would think with the Cowboys being up 36-30, and Coach Garza from the Cowboys is actually the one that called the timeout. He didn't call the timeout to make any adjustments. What he's doing, because he doesn't play a lot of players, what he's doing is he uses his timeouts to actually rest his players. So he uses his timeout with 3 minutes to go, and then you get to the end of the quarter and they'll get an additional time to rest. And the decision that Coach Yerba has to make with 3 minutes and 11 seconds to go here in the third quarter, Mark, is when does he bring Campos back? Campos with 3 fouls has been very ineffective.
So here come the Warriors, trailing by 6. This is Trevino. Dribbles to the right, now back to the left. Guarded by Betancourt. They set a pick there, now we've got a whistle. That's going to be on Betancourt, trying to fight his way through the pick, and that'll be his first. It's on the floor, but that's the third team foul. 2:58 to play third quarter. Here's Gatling looking for Martinez underneath. Martinez sets his base, does a nice little turnaround shot. It's good.
Excellent pass by Gatling into Martinez, and what a great move. Mark, there's no way they can stop Martinez if they keep giving him the ball. He's too strong, too powerful.
Martinez with 8 points. Yeah, they might be looking to him on every possession. And now Martinez steals it. And his pass intercepted at midcourt by Kavanaugh. So Porter comes right back. 3-pointer is an air ball taken down by Gatling for the Warriors. And they get it to Trevino. Warriors want to take careful control of the ball on their possessions here as Trevino drives the lane. Loose ball picked up by Porter, now stolen by Gatling. Had about 5 turnovers here in about 10 seconds. And a timeout there called by Gatling.
A very smart timeout, Mark. If he doesn't do that, they would probably have a jump ball.
Yeah, the big junior does a smart move there with the Warriors trailing by 4, 36-32, 2:13 to play here in the third quarter, and it's a terrific game. It's the main paper, the Monitor, has these two teams ranked number 1 and number 2 in the Valley, and both they're playing like it tonight.
No doubt about that. If we take a look at the replay, it looked like they were going to tie up Gatlin, and he called a timeout. Well, Mark, something that might come into effect here now as we're getting close to the end of the third quarter, the Cowboys do have 5 seniors that play a lot. And the Warriors, the majority of the players that get playing time, they only have 2 seniors and 3 juniors. So we'll see that will play out in this game tonight.
2:13 to go in the third. Warriors to inbound following that timeout. Both teams with 3 timeouts left. Here's Trevino, drives the lane, eschews the shot, kicks it out to Juarez. Juarez finds Gatling. Gatling with 12 tonight. Taking his time, though. They get it over to Trevino. Trevino, his pass is knocked away from Martinez. And the Warriors will keep the ball. 1:58 to go here in the third. Inbounds pass is knocked away, but Gatling picks it up, and now a jump ball. As Gatling got it tied up over there, and that'll remain with the Warriors.
You know, the Warriors is something I wasn't expecting, Mark, that they've been having trouble with handling the ball. It's led to a lot of turnovers.
In it comes to Martinez, and now a whistle on the floor. I don't think this is a shooting foul. It's going to be on 33, Kavanaugh. That'll be his second. And the fourth team foul. And yes, indeed, it's on the floor. Heard a few boos there. Some fans thought maybe that should be a shooting foul. Ball knocked away, stolen by Porter, and now we've got another whistle.
And Mark, the turnovers continue to hurt the Warriors. But you know, what a smart play that will not come out in the box score. The Cowboys had a layup, and Rodrigo Trevino intentionally fouled to keep a layup from going.
Trevino, or rather they credit Juarez with the foul, but that'll be his first. And here's Porter with the ball. Outside, that's De Los Santos. Three-pointer rolls in. And De Los Santos with 7 points. And it's a 7-point lead now for the Cowboys, 39-32. As we take a look at that replay, great shot there by De Los Santos, the senior guard. Ball knocked away, but Gatling recovers it, drives the lane, draws the whistle.
And the Warriors almost had another turnover. Luckily, with the speed of Gatling, he was able to get to that ball, and he earns a trip to the free throw.
And the foul called on Eli Martinez, their 6'5" sophomore. His first and the team fifth. So it looks like teams will get more opportunities at the line as we head to the fourth quarter. Gatling at the line for the first time tonight, hits the first one. Minute 24 to go here in the third. We're at Weslaco East High School Gym. It's jam-packed on all four sides here tonight. Watching this terrific game. Gatling 2 for 2. He's got 14 to lead all scorers. 39-34. Porter in front. They've led since the mid-second quarter. Salazar draws, tries to dish it off, intended for Martinez, but off his fingertips, and it's a turnover on Porter.
And Valley basketball fans might be wondering why they're playing at Weslaco East, which is a smaller gym. Why not Weslaco High School? But there's a 4A area game over there between Corpus Christi, Ray, and Laredo Nixon. So that's why they didn't use that gym.
Got games all over South Texas. 55 seconds to go in the third quarter. Trevino goes right, now back to the left. Kicks it outside. That's Juarez. Three-pointer!
That's a big three-pointer. Another assist for Rodrigo Trevino, as Juarez had not scored since the first quarter.
Yeah, I was going to say Juarez had been quiet since early on. It's now a 2-point game. Kavanaugh drives, scores, and it's and one.
And you know, almost every shot that the Cowboys are taking are as they're driving in, Mark. And they're driving in, as like I said before, usually something good happens. Either you're going to get fouled or you're going to find somebody for an easy pass.
And Kavanaugh will be at the line for a three-point play opportunity. Foul was on Alan Martinez, his third. And Kavanaugh completes the three-point play the old-fashioned way. He's got 11 points, and it's a 5-point lead now for Porter, 42-37, 28 seconds left in the third quarter.
Campos is back in the game, Mark.
And Gatling's pass is knocked out of bounds, but the Warriors will retain possession. Kavanaugh going for the steal. Take a look at Trevino there, the senior guard. Has only 2 points tonight, but probably close to double digits in assists.
And Coach Yerba decided to take out Campos. He doesn't want him to pick up his fourth foul.
Yeah, a couple of Warriors in foul trouble right now. 15 seconds left. Trevino drives, his cut off. Now fires it intended for Diaz, but knocked out by Porter, and a smart move by Diaz to let that one go. Clock stopped with 11.1 second left in the third. 5-point lead for Porter. Trevino almost has the ball stolen away, and now a hack is called. This looks like it'll be on Porter.
And Mark, that's a 16 foul against Porter. So from now on, with 6.5 seconds to go in this quarter and the entire fourth quarter, the Warriors will go to the free throw line on every foul.
Betancourt, that was his second foul for the reach. Gatling will inbound. 6.5 seconds left in the quarter. Rowe wants to get that last shot. And now a 5-second call against Gatling.
And Mark, that's like another turnover because you didn't get the ball in. That must be close to, I don't want to exaggerate, but close to maybe 20 turnovers on the Warriors in this game.
It has been a lot with that Porter's extra speed. 3-point effort by De Los Santos, no good. And there's the whistle as we reach the end of 3. And our score is Porter 42 and Rowe 37. Porter led by 4 at the break, and they lead by 5 as we head to the 4th. So Porter outscoring Rowe in the 3rd quarter, 14-13. 1 minute break before we head to the 4th quarter. The winner of this game advances to the regional tournament, the regional semifinal, which will be Friday at the UT Pan Am Fieldhouse. There'll be a doubleheader action. There'll be 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock games. Winner of this game will play in the 8 o'clock game.
Well, Mark, one thing I'm looking at earlier in the year, one of the other teams they're playing today is Corpus Christi Carroll. Earlier in the year, Corpus Christi Carroll and Rowe Warriors played each other, and it was the same kind of game. It was a real close game, and the Warriors did a good job hanging in there, so maybe that game would help them out in a situation like tonight. And the first possession here to start off the 4th quarter is going to be for the Porter Cowboys.
You know, and one of the stats I had, I didn't get a chance to mention this earlier, but Porter is not a stranger to this particular floor. They've played Weslaco East here twice in the last 2 years. They've won both times. So they did have that little bit of confidence just playing on this floor.
And the Warriors played once this year since they're in the same district.
42-37 is our score. Yeah, the Warriors would have won here as well. And Porter nearly turns it over, but gets the ball right back. Betancourt drives the lane, scores.
Mark, all night long, there's no, the scouting report is very simple. You've got to keep Porter from driving in. I mean, it's easy for me to say this, but that's what they've done all night. If we were to go to a shooting chart, you would see a lot of points that are being scored in the paint by the Cowboys because that's their game plan. Penetrate, penetrate, penetrate.
Betancourt for a chance for a three-point play, and he got it.
Is that the biggest lead of the game for
I believe so. They've led by as many as 7. They now lead by 8, 45-37 after Betancourt gets his first 3 of the night. And here's Juarez driving across the baseline. We'll find Trevino. Trevino tries to pass into the lane, has it knocked away by the Cowboys, but Rowe recovers, and Campos draws the whistle. So I think at this point, down 8 points in the 4th quarter, Coach Abra is going to leave Campos in there as long as he can.
And you know, Campos was kind of bailed out on that play because he looked like he was way under the basket, but he'll take it.
And by the way, both teams are in the bonus from here on in, 7:21 to play. As we see Campos, or rather, Campos hitting the first one.
One thing the Warriors have to be careful with as we get closer to the 3-minute mark, the Cowboys have been known to go into their delay game.
And we see Rowe coming out with a press. First time we've seen that. And Porter with a little bit of trouble. And Trevino fighting for it in midcourt, gets the steal. Back comes Rowe, but they throw it away. Trying to get it to Juarez. Pass was a little bit flat, and they'll turn it back over, but Rowe has cut it to 6. Coach Abra on the sideline gesticulating, wants his team to continue with the press. This time, Porter has no problems with it. They get it to their speedster, Salazar, and then Salazar commits a travel. Boy, Salazar, he just sliced through that defense with no problem, like a knife through butter, but then had trouble on the handle.
It's going to be very hard to press the Cowboys. I mean, they're all quick, fast, good ball handlers.
45-39, Cowboys in front. 6:55 to play in the 4th quarter. Regional quarterfinal, 3rd-round playoff action. 15-foot effort by Alan Martinez is no good. De Los Santos the rebound for Porter. They get it to Salazar. Salazar across the timeline. Now Salazar drives the lane. Teardrop is no good. Offensive rebound, no good. Ball is tipped, goes out. It's going to be Rowe basketball.
Boy, the action is really picking up, Mark.
Something else. I mean, you can sense a little bit of, I don't want to say desperation, but a sense of increased pace on the part of Nikki Rowe as they call timeout here. We see Coach Yebra there, head coach of the Warriors, trying to get back to the regional tournament for the first time in 13 years.
Well, the first thing that happened for them, Mark, they were having trouble getting out of the first round. So they did a good job of this year doing that, getting out of the first round and getting out of the second round. But you just never know what's going to happen in a game like today. I don't think Coach Yerba expected the turnovers the way they've been happening, and I don't think he expected that they're not scoring inside.
And we see the Nikki Rowe cheerleaders performing here for the entertainment of the crowd. Excellent job they do. Nikki Rowe, the district champions in District 31 5A this year. Undefeated in district play, 16-0.
And sometimes, Mark, games like this, they go down also to free throws. And as you already said, both teams are in the bonus. So anytime you hear a whistle, they're going to go shoot free throws. And it looks like the Cowboys are a good free throw shooting team.
Yeah, looking at the free throws, it looks like Porter's made 7 of 11 from the line in this game. Pretty good percentage, 6:25 to go here in the game. Rowe with the basketball, but they're down 6 points, 45-39. Both teams in the bonus from here on out.
The Warriors are having problems getting the ball inside. Campos needs to get the ball inside, and he does.
Bounce pass, Campos, hook
And
shot
there
is
it is.
in. 4 points now for Campos, all here in the fourth. And it's a 4-point game, 45-41. Here's Kavanaugh driving the lane, scores, left-handed layup. 13 now for Kavanaugh.
Kavanaugh, you know, everything is a drive. Maybe they ought to let him shoot from the outside, see what happens.
6-point game, 47-41. Porter in front. Juarez hesitates, but finds Trevino. Trevino kicks it back out to Juarez. Drives the lane, he's cut off. Kicks it out. Shot is no good. Missed by Martinez, but an offensive board. Campos inside. Can't get it in. Rebound to Porter. That is Salazar with it. Long pass, Betancourt. Three-pointer is good.
Big money ball right there. And that's good penetration by the Cowboys.
And
Excellent shot.
And that's gravy for them because Betancourt they don't depend on for scoring, but he's got 6 points here all in the second half. Campos inside, and he draws the whistle as he wrestled and tussled with Martinez over there. Yeah, I think that'll be number 2 on Martinez.
And that's a Porter Cowboy team. You have, you know, what about 30 seconds ago they were up 4 and they scored 5 points within 10 seconds. So now the score is 50-42 with Campos having another free throw.
Yeah, Campos made that first one. He's 3 for 3 at the line tonight. Now 4 for 4, he's got 6 points. 50-43. Porter in front, they break the rope press. Get it to Salazar, now Betancourt. Another three-pointer, got it. And where is all that coming from? Betancourt with back-to-back threes.
They all can shoot, Mark. This is a senior team. They're very versatile. They all can shoot threes. They're up by 10 now.
Yeah, this is what you talked about. You don't want to be down double digits in the fourth quarter. Three-point effort by Martinez is no good. And the rebound comes down to Porter, who lead 53-43. 4 minutes and 32 seconds to play in the game. Winner will meet either San Antonio Brandeis or Converse Judson. Kavanaugh drives the lane, and there's a whistle. This is on the floor, but it's going to be 1-1.
I mean, Kavanaugh must be having a lot of fun, Mark, because that's about 10 times he's already driven, and everything's been real positive every time he drives.
And not so good for Rowe is the foul is on Rudy Campos, and that'll be his fourth, and they're going to take him out. Juarez also coming out, and Jesse Diaz is in there now, along with 24, Gabe Garcia. Kavanaugh, 1-1, got the first one.
The biggest lead of the game for the Cowboys is now 11.
Couldn't get the second, he's got 14, but an offensive board there for Porter. See if they try to take the air out a little bit. They'll send it up top to Betancourt. It's going to be guarded by Garcia. Betancourt Trying to look for a lane. Will dish it off. Martinez saves it from going out, but then Gatling steals. There's Gatling between two defenders. Finds it over to Garcia. Now to Gatling on the baseline. Spins his way through. Bounce pass to the other side to Diaz. And it goes back up top to Trevino. Diaz, the three-pointer. No good. Porter the rebound. And we got a foul in the backcourt. That's going to be on Gatling for holding. And that's going to be a 1-and-1 as they'll walk about 80 feet to the other end of the floor. Closer to 60 feet maybe. This will put Salazar at the line. He is 3 for 4 from the line here tonight. Couldn't get it. Gatling the rebound.
Another turnover, Mark.
Yeah, stolen by De Los Santos to Salazar, and Salazar is fouled as he drives. Rowe had no choice but to foul him when he was that close.
And Coach Garza was thinking, as we take a look at the replay, he's thinking that there should be some kind of goaltending, but he's not going to get the call.
He wanted intentional. Salazar at the line and got it.
The score is now 55-43, 56-43.
He's 5 for 7 from the line and has 16 points. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 13-point game here for the Porter Cowboys, 56-43. Rowe with only 6 points here in 4 minutes and 16 seconds of fourth quarter action. What can Rowe do to try to get back into this?
Well, I think Rowe, what they need to do is try to go inside, and usually good things happen. Either you get a foul, but more importantly, anytime you go inside and get a foul, you stop the clock. And they're going to need a couple of quick turnovers, but it's going to be hard because Porter is well coached. It's a senior ball club. They've been in this situation, and they're just going to need a couple of breaks here and there and a couple of missed free throws. It just doesn't look like in tonight's game that Rowe has been in a good flow, in a good rhythm the entire game, and you got to give credit to the Cowboys. They have good defensive players. They make it real hard for the Warriors to have any easy shots.
Yeah, and Porter's led since about the middle of the second quarter, and they've bent, but they haven't broken throughout this game. In fact, they've increased the lead steadily. So we see Gatling draws a whistle. Looks like it's going to be on Betancourt. And it is. That'll be number 3 on him. That'll put Gatling at the line.
And that is now 19 fouls on both teams, Mark. So from now on, anytime you have a foul, it's going to be an automatic 2-shot.
That can be beneficial to Rowe if they can draw more whistles. Oh, a lane violation. And since it was 1-and-1, they don't get another free throw. So 56-43, Porter in front and with the ball. Here's Cavanaugh driving against 3 defenders, gets it up, trickles out, rebound to Rowe. That was Martinez with it. Finds Trevino. Trevino races across. Now to Gatling. Shuffles it to Diaz. Diaz thinking about the 3, finds Martinez inside. Couldn't quite get it on the fadeaway. Now Porter with it. There's Salazar. Salazar between a couple of defenders. And I think one of the Warriors is going to be called with the reach. No basket. Foul was well before the shot, and it's going to be on Gabe Garcia. I believe that'll be his first, and it'll put Salazar at the line for 2 since it's we're in the double bonus. .256 to play here in the fourth quarter. Salazar gets it. He's hit his last 3 free throws.
We got the subs coming back for the last-ditch effort for the Warriors. Campos back on the court, Juarez back on the court, and Contreras. As Alan Martinez takes a break, he probably won't be on the bench for long.
Yeah, Campos in there with 4 fouls, but with under 3 minutes to go and down double digits, got no choice. And Salazar hits them both. Salazar has hit his last 4 in a row, and he's got 18 points to lead all scorers. 2:50 to play here in the game. Rowe with it in the front court, and they get it inside Campos, and he scores. Count the basket. Foul's going to be on Salazar. That'll be his 3rd.
The Warriors needed that 2-pointer from Campos, and that's something that they wish they would have had all night. Just didn't happen.
He's been in foul trouble for much of the game. Gets the 3-point play, and 9 points now for Campos. All in the second half. In fact, I think all of it in the 4th quarter. 2:46 to go, and we've got a whistle. Quarter up, 58-46. We see Coach Luis Garza.
And pretty much with less than 3 minutes to go, 58-46. The lead by 12. Coach Yerman, the Warriors are going to make the Cowboys earn their victory at the free throw line.
Salazar misses the first one. He's 7 for 10, now 8 of 11. And he's got 19 points. 59-46, quarter in front, 2:42 to play. Rowe needs to score on every possession from here on if they're going to come back in this game. This is Trevino with it. Fires it underneath. Nice pass there by Trevino. And it's Contreras who scores the layup. 6 points for him. Full court pressure. Ball's loose, and now a whistle. Clock stopped at 2:27. Oh, and that's on Porter.
Well, they needed that help right there on that call.
This puts Campos at the line again. He's been on fire from the line. Just as I say that, he misses.
Mark, why did you do that?
He was 5 for 5, now 5 for 6.
He'll make this one.
And he got that one. He's got 10 points now. And that foul, by the way, was on Martinez. It was his 3rd. Full court pressure. Ball thrown into the front court, and Porter comes away with it, but then it goes out. De Los Santos lost control just for a moment. The ball touched the sideline, and it goes as a turnover. So Nikki Rowe has it back. They're down 10 with 2:18 to play. Still a chance.
If they can get a 3 here, Mark, and get it down to 7, things will get interesting.
Porter spreading out their defense because they want to defend the 3. Gatling over on the right side. And then loses the handle and is stolen away by Porter. Now a foul in the backcourt. This is going to put Martinez at the line all the way at the other end. And I believe that was Campos, and that, if it is, that's number 5. And I see the official score. I don't know if we can get a shot of the official scorer wearing the zebra outfit in the middle of the scorer's table, but holding up 5 fingers. And Rudy Campos, the junior sitter, is done for the evening with 10 points and quite a few rebounds. Yeah, there we see the scorer's table. And Campos shaking hands with the Coach Garza. It's a nice tradition they have in basketball.
And Rudy Campos will be back next year. Excellent ball player. Expect big things from him next year. Unfortunately for him in this game, he was in foul trouble all night long, and we really didn't get to see the player that he was, or he is. He's just a fantastic player, but he spent a lot of time on the bench.
Martinez is 2 for 4 from the line tonight, so he's been a little shaky. Gets this one.
And Mark, when you say he's shaky, he makes it, and when you say he's good, so why don't you say he's going to make this one, Mark?
Okay. Yeah, I think he'll make this one. They got it. There's no jinx there. He's just got good skills. And he is 4 for 6 from the line, has 14 points there for Martinez. 61-49. Porter in front by 12. Once again, we're under 2 minutes to play. Trevino dishes it out to Juarez. 3-pointer. In and out. Offensive rebound. Contreras misses, gets his own board. Misses again. Ball still loose in the lane. Now a big scramble forward. I think it's going to be a jump ball. That's what they're going to call. Can't see the possession arrow from where we are, but it appears to be Rowe basketball. So now a timeout called by Nikki Rowe. They'll be left with one timeout left with 1:42 to play in the game. It's Porter 61 and the Warriors 49. Porter led by 4 points at halftime, led by 5 points going into the fourth quarter. And they've outscored Rowe by 7 here in the fourth frame. Looking at the leading scorers for the Porter Cowboys, Hugo Salazar has 19, Kavanaugh has 14, and then Martinez with 14, De Los Santos with 7, Owen Betancourt has 9. And then for Nikki Rowe, they are led by Gatling with 14 points. Juarez has 9, Campos with 10, Martinez with 8, then Contreras with 6, Trevino with 2. Campos fouled out tonight with 10 points. So 4 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have been decided by single digits. But right now, Porter up by 12 with 1:42 to go. Rowe with the basketball. 3-point effort by Trevino. They need to shoot early and often. Gatling, oh, nice job by Gatling. Couldn't get the board, but he was able to slap it over to his teammate. Shot missed, and then Porter has it. Here's Salazar with it. Salazar driving, and then loses the handle, and that's going to be out of bounds. Great defense there by number 11, Marcos Contreras.
You know, one of the things for young kids watching this basketball game is if you're a guard, you got to keep the ball in the middle of the court. Anytime you go to the sideline, that sideline acts like another defensive player, and bad things happen.
It's going to be Rowe basketball. 1:26 to go. Trevino brings it across. They try to set a high pick for him. Betancourt fought through that. Porter out there guarding the three-point line. They're willing to concede the 2, and that's what they do. And that's Martinez, who now enters double digits with 10. Full court pressure. Porter's able to break it 2-on-1 at the other end. They get it to Martinez. Scores. Picture-perfect basketball there on display by Porter. Martinez with 16 now. It's 63-51. In the lane, Trevino. A little short, Porter with it. Long pass to Betancourt. And then a foul by Juarez. Not intentional. Juarez did a good job there reaching in for the basketball. And good hustle to get back on defense. You can see the replay there. Physical, but not any kind of hatchet job by any means.
And with the score 63-51, 49 seconds to go, the crowd feels like the game is over. A lot of people are already starting to leave. They want to beat that traffic.
49 seconds left in the game. Betancourt now enters double digits. He's at 10 points. 2 for 2 from the line.
Betancourt hit some big threes in the third quarter.
Yeah, he didn't have any at halftime, and now has 11. 3 for 3 at the line, a couple of threes in the game. 45 seconds left. It's a 14-point lead for Porter, 65-51. Martinez. Long bounce pass intended for Gatling, stolen away by Porter. They might try to dribble out the clock here.
Yeah, and another turnover right there, Mark, and that's been the big story of this game. The Warriors had a lot of turnovers, but you got to give credit to the defense of the Cowboys. They did a good job of causing all those turnovers.
And a timeout called by Porter. So I think Coach Garza just wants to set them up for maybe a 4 corners or something like that for the last few moments. This game is just about done, 65-51. Porter in front.
And you know, with the score the way it is right now, it looks like the Cowboys are going to advance. They have a chance at the next level, Mark, because it's a very difficult team to defend against. The only thing I think might hurt them is when you go up against the next possible opponents, which would be Brandeis or Judson, is their lack of height. That might come back to haunt them. Because all these, they did penetrate a lot, but I think when you play one of those two teams, you're going to have some tall defensive players waiting for them. So I don't know if they're going to be able to do that against a team like Brandeis or Judson.
Judson, I know, is a strong defensive team, holding their opponents in the first couple of playoff rounds to under 50 points. Brandeis was actually considered stronger going into that game, as Porter drives, misses, but then a rebound is put in by Salazar, and that'll give him 21 to lead all scorers. And that will do it. And our final score, Porter wins it, 67-51.
Congratulations to the Porter Cowboys and Luis Garza. For the first time, I think, in school history, they go to the regional tournament.
Yeah, they outscore Nikki Rowe by 11 points there in the fourth quarter, 25-14. So congratulations to the Porter Cowboys. Yeah, this is the furthest they've ever gone as a Class 5A school. And congratulations to Coach Luis Garza and the Porter Cowboys, who improved to 33-5 with their 9th straight victory. Nikki Rowe's season ends at 31-5. Certainly a great season there for Nikki Rowe, and I'll run through the scores right quick here for you. For Porter, Hugo Salazar with 21 points to lead everybody. Then we had Martinez with 16, Kavanaugh with 14, De Los Santos with 7, and Bentoncourt had 11 points. So all their scoring coming from 5 different players. And for Nikki Rowe, they were led by Gatling with 14 points. And then we had Rudy Campos with 10, Juarez with 9 points. Or Gatling with 14, Campos with 10, Martinez with 10, then Juarez with 9, Contreras with 6, and Trevino with 2 points. So that'll do it. Our final score, Porter 67, Rowe 51. I'm Mark May here along with Mario Reyna. Hope you enjoy this MITV production. Boys basketball are brought to you. And we also want to thank our media partner, KGBT TV, for bringing this to you on valleycentral.com. This game will also be coming to you at McAllenisd.org and on channel 17.17 in the McAllen area. Good night from Weslaco East Gymnasium, and congratulations to the Porter Cowboys.
You're watching MITV, Channel 17.